Hi Aries, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Aries, oh my crystals are jiggling. Just a second. All right, that's good. We're going to do a reading this week. This week we're doing spiritual success and activation. And so what's really curious is the deck that I picked up to use, I'm going to use my Animal Oracle deck. And so I picked it up to use it. And I didn't really think anything of it at first, you know. But like this is the card that it was at the bottom when I grabbed the deck. And I don't know. I wasn't really thinking to myself, well, that's not an animal. But so they started shuffling the deck. And then this card flew out. And it's funny, like it's exactly the same size, but it's not from the same deck. This is from the Shaman Oracle deck, or the Shaman. Don't squeeze the Shaman. No. So the ancient ones, but I thought, isn't this curious? Like, it's the only one from that deck that was on there. It was probably something obvious. Like this deck was probably sitting on top of that one or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm just going with it. That's kind of cool. That, right? Like this deck is here and I want to do spiritual success and activation for everybody this week. And the ancient ones are here to talk to you. So I kind of like the way that whole thing flowed there. So I feel like these messages are from the ancient ones. The ancient ones, I feel like, are guardians that have been present for a long time through the history of humankind and the ascension and development of mankind's consciousness and subconscious. And I feel like though that these messages will be either through them and then direct and then into like guides for you, because there's something that feels very personal about this. Oh God, now the House of Cards come tumbling down. I counted my tarot cards too. I'm playing with a full deck. So I am playing with a full deck of cards, Aries, just because last week there was all these comments about this card flew on the floor, card flew on the floor, and I'm thinking, there's been times when there's been times when I finish the reading, I'll find a card on the floor, I'm like, what the H-E double hockey sticks is that? But usually I'll edit the video and say, this card, I found it, and it's pretty rare. But I never found a card, and so then I went back and I looked everywhere. I'm like, there's no card on the table. I counted the decks, 78 cards. It's weird. Nobody time-stamped like when they saw that. So I don't know. They just wanted me to count my cards or what's going on. So anyways, Aries, that's what's going on. The ancient ones, they're talking to you. And I feel like messages to your guides to you to make it very personal. Or maybe not, I don't know. Just here to pull cards. It's what I do. It's my job. Okay, the ancient ones want to talk to you. Yeah, say, Cindy, just shut up. Shut up, pull cards. Okay, so we're going to look at, this is an interesting spread this week. We're going to look at, and here, you know, I like this spread. Tell me what you think of this spread. I created it quite a while ago, and I don't even think I've used it as many times as the amount of number of fingers I have on one hand. You know, I think it's easily less than half a dozen times, if not less than that. And this is, I find it a fascinating one, and I think I should do it more often. It's, so spiritual success and activation. So we're going to ask the area of your life where you are disheartened about or where you feel the most blocked in. And then how does this block shape the course of your life? You know, sometimes a block can shape your life in a good way. You just don't see it that way yet, or negative way, depending on how you're dealing with it. And then what can you activate in your life right now? All right. And then, oh, as I say that, time for beginner mind. So don't get caught up in your thoughts. Just think fresh. Be a true little Aries baby, fireball baby, and just go about your day like you'd never done a day before. So, and then the last question I ask is, how can you move away from your worries? Isn't that interesting spread? Yeah, tell me what you think. Think in the comments. What these cards are, it's funny when the cards have been sitting for a while, they're like, yeah, we got a lot to say. We got a lot to say. Some things we want to say. So, okay. Let's get ready. Messages from the ancient ones about spiritual success and activation for Aries. My fireball babies. I'm just laughing at the cards because I feel like they're trying to take over the reading. Area of your life you are disheartened about or feel the most blocked in. Be generous of spirit. Okay, well, see, these are always interesting too. When we get answers like that, I'm going to add tarot to this too. if you wait by the time I get all the tarot cards out, there'll be a screenshot on the screen about what these cards are, so you can really see them. So you've got be generous of spirit. Either you're feeling like you're giving too much of yourself. You're not sure how to cut that off. You're not sure how to turn off the tap if you're giving an awful lot of yourself. Or you're just feeling like, I want to say I feel more strongly, because this is where you're feeling blocked in. Is there something about yourself that you want to really offer? And it might be some sort of leadership. It might be some sort of guidance. Yeah, like it feels like there's something you would like to be able to offer of yourself to the world, to an individual, to a group, to a project, to your goals, but you can't. Your spirit somehow, the generosity of yourself is somehow blocked off. Maybe you're not intentionally doing that. Maybe you're just aware of it and it's happening because of some other outside circumstances going on that are just affecting you that way. But that's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. Has this block shaped the course of your life? Ooh, trust in the magic. Yeah, okay. This definitely feels like there's something going on here where you would like to have more control over your life, or how some outcome or hopeful outcome may unfold. And it's honestly, it feels like, I want to say that it's developing your trust in magic. It's developing your trust in the universe, because, you know, it honestly feels like, you know, when there's something that you just can't do, you just give it to the universe. You're going to have to do it. You took my hand out of it, so you're going to have to do it. Interesting. What can you activate in your life right now? Oh, luck. It's a lucky time. Now is a lucky time for you. Rabbit spirit, new projects. It feels like something about new projects, new initiative. If there's something that you do want to do, it's starting to become a lucky time for you. You can activate your luck by believing in the magic. There's that. How can you move away from your worries? Bring a gentle touch. Maybe don't get anxious. Because there is something here about yourself that you want to move forward, and it's not, it just feels like circumstances, because the way this lion is looking too, like, but you can't, because the raven is looking back, like this white raven. Yo, trust in the magic, trust in the process. The universe is dealing with things in universal time. Bring it gentle. Be gentle with yourself. With how can you move away from your worries? Bring a gentle touch. Don't get overly anxious. Be aware of too. I want to say, because you're Aries and you're run by Mars, is just be aware of, like, if you're feeling held back or anxious, because there's a tendency for Aries to want to push against things. Like if somebody tells you you can't do something, you're going to show them you can do it. If the universe says we're not going to allow you to move, we're going to make a move. Just be gentle. Just be gentle with everything right now. I think this group of humans going to play me around this week. So as I say that, what do you have at the bottom? Take the lead. You see clearly now. Nothing is wasted. Wow. So I don't know. Maybe you should just push it through, but do it gently. Is this how it's going to be, Ancient Ones, this week? It's going to be oxymorons, and what I say now is not what you're going to have me say 2 minutes from now. But that take the lead. Wait a second, though. Let's just hold on, because this is why we're here. This is the underline, right? There's maybe an opportunity here, because nothing is wasted. You see clearly now. So it almost feels like some sort of experience that you had in the past, or that you witnessed in the past, and then you want to do something with it, right? Something that you learned in the past. Could be mistakes that we've made, right? Like things that we've made, mistakes that we've made, and not wasting this. And now you see clearly. You see past the mistake. You've learned from it, and you want to really be able to just take the lead. That's the thing that I picked up right here, right away too, that's being blocked. Okay, no, never mind me. I just feel like there is a bit of mischievous energy with these ancient ones, which is kind of very interesting. Yeah, she's smiling at me. Oh, see? That didn't even go in. All right. One more. I'm using the Shadowscape Tarot. Not used it in a long time. Let's see. Well, not that long, I guess. I have so many cards. So many other cards I want too. It's kind of a sickness, really. I don't know. I think at this point it's better to revisit old decks that I haven't touched in a while as opposed to getting new ones. That's what I think. All right, this spread's going to get a little bit big because I'm going to put 3 cards for each of these oracle cards. I don't know what this is. So part of it feels like, okay, the area of your life you feel the most okay, the area of your life you feel the most disheartened about is, it's almost like something that you've built in your life. I don't know if there's something from the past. However you built this, the foundation of it still exists around you and it holds you in place, like being stuck in a tree. I almost held myself back to start saying what is here. Yeah, anyways, because I've created a new format. Picture the cards in the corner. It's supposed to make everything flow better. That'll happen. There's some sort of foundation that still exists around you, whether it's a physical, a monetary, has that sense, right? Like something that's real here. And it's in charge of your heart. And I don't know how that is, because the Devil card is here and he's holding a heart in his hand. Let's see where this goes. I'm just going to pull all these cards out and I'll look at them. Pulling these out, how am I going to get this to fit on the screen? It's a big spread. All right, it's all out now. What do you have at the bottom? The 8 of Wands. It's kind of dark in here. I need my glasses. You know what? This is... I feel like this reading is... Right? I give this like little things. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do that. I should have said this. It almost feels like that. Like, I don't know if whatever this generosity of your spirit is, it's just like there's always something coming up. There's something that needs to be done before you can do what it is that you really want to do. I don't know. Anyways, here we go. 8 of Wands is at the bottom. And that's it. Movement, communication, fulfilling your wish. Okay, I'm going to get into all this once we get there. I'm going back over here. You can see the cards that you got now. So you can also zoom in, you know, you can do that. You put 2 fingers on there. You can zoom into the whole deck there. Everything that came out. Area of your life you are blocked in right now. There's definitely, you've taken like a certain amount of growth in something, and it's like this growth shows up really obviously in your life. Like it could be a home that you've built, it could be finances that you have, it could be a career that you've established, but you find yourself on the short end of the stick with it at this point because it's sitting behind the Devil. Right? Look at this guy, he's holding that person's heart in his hand, and that sits in front of this King of Pentacles. And then what's in front of that is the Three of Cups. And this is like a totally different vibe, right? Like this is being able to enjoy time together with people that you want to see. Share a drink, share a joke, share some laughter, come together again. But it's almost like the generosity of your spirit, right? How is that held back? I don't know. There's something here that you've built on, that you've built it so strongly in the 3D that the devil now has the purse strings to it. So something has to be fixed. It feels more than something just being alchemized. Like, I feel like there's probably some action that needs to be taken on you or by you. Maybe there's action that needs to be taken on you, but it's more like action by you to free your spirit. But maybe it is on you, action on you, like something out of your control. That was a very early part of this reading. How does this block shape the course of your life, right? Trust in the magic. You got all major arcana. Actually, you pulled out quite a few. You might even see that already. Yeah, a whole bunch in a row here. Temperance, the Fool, and the Emperor. This is like, you really have to wait. And there you are, though. I mean, you're the last part in this equation of this magic that you need to trust in. So there is something that you will need to initiate, to activate in yourself, to gain some sort of control or reclaim some sort of sovereignty over, you know, the generous being that you are and how you want to share that. But this block is really about, I want to say it's teaching you patience. It's teaching you balance. It's teaching you the importance of having a fresh start in things as well. It's also just teaching you to have faith. I mean, the Fool card is an awful lot about that too. New beginnings. Then once this occurs, though, I mean, then you show up there, the Emperor card. Sorry, I just wanted to see if there was anywhere else that this... Ah, yes. I see it. Okay. In the crystal ball that the Emperor holds is the face of this dragon that's at the bottom of the tree. I knew it was somewhere. I just got to say, well, I was told. Look around for that. And now I see it wasn't so much the crystal ball, it was what is inside the crystal ball. This dragon is guarding this foundation that you are locked in. That's really curious. The dragon is guarding this foundation that you've built around yourself somehow that is now owned by the devil. And, you know, don't get all caught up in weird stuff, but you just have to, like, people, the devil doesn't know me in any way. You are living and breathing on earth, and you're a fleshy material right now. I'll tell you right now, the devil owns you in some way. The minute you give birth, you are given birth into this life, and you take your first breath, you have stolen something from earth. You are now part of the exchange program in the physical. So, and the devil runs the physical, runs earth, right? So yeah, there's something here that is absolutely out of your control. Glad I clarified that for you. All right, great, Cindy, thanks. Okay, what can you activate in your life right now? Now is a lucky time. Well, that's interesting. You have the Hermit and the Hanged Man. I'll tell you, if you've been waiting for a lucky time, if you've been waiting for the right moment, if you've done, I want to say, you know, have trust in yourself here. There is a level of self-actualization that you do have control over right now. Because the Emperor would almost be like, right, because here you are in your reading. This is the part of you that is the magic. But that I want to say, when you hit the Emperor energy, you have fully self-actualized into a cycle that you are now experiencing. Because I think it all comes and goes. Like, you're mastering something, you've mastered it, it all falls apart, start something new. So in this cycle that you're in right now, you have the ability to really take on this Queen of Wands energy for yourself. With the Hermit and the Hanged Man, honestly, this is really like looking deep within yourself here, finding things about yourself that you've maybe pushed down, pushed away for a time. Things about yourself that you believe that maybe were more like, I don't know, pressures, ideas from outside sources. You know, just like growing up and just life in general. Trying to mold yourself into any group dynamics that you find yourself in as well. Like, I mean, we do that all the time. And it is like when in Rome, you know, you wouldn't go from your nudist colony to the church gathering. You probably wouldn't. You might get arrested. But you know what I mean? Like, there's a place and time to be a certain person in certain places. So sometimes I think too, when we are in certain places for long enough, we start to become that certain place, as opposed to us just recognizing when and what parts of ourselves are best utilized at any given time. So some deep thought in there. The Hanged Man, now this is like, honestly too, it's like looking at, once you have the self perspective, is looking at the perspective outside of yourself and what you're witnessing and how you fit into that and how you don't fit into that. So it's a lucky time, I feel like, because you've made your own luck here with these cards. That's what you can activate in your life, is the luck that you've created. And with the Queen of Wands, this is really do it your way. Do it your own way. Do it in a very creative way. Be in charge of your life. Express yourself creatively. And that actually really comes in so well after those two cards, the Hermit and the Hangman. All right, down here. Okay, what is this? How you can move away from your worries. Bring a gentle touch. The Five of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Nine of Wands. Oh my God. Jeez. I want to say, for some of you, the Five of Swords and the Page of Swords is kind of like, well, with the gentle touch, is just quietly back away from some relationships, possibly. From some things that are not the healthiest for you right now. I do feel like some of you have been waiting a long time for an opportunity. I'm really curious what this is for you, because this is a long wait. Maybe it's whatever this devil shit is, right? You're dealing with. It is a long, drawn out wait. Don't move forward as the wounded soldier too. So also, if there's something that you've been cutting out, trying to understand, it's been a long time. Yeah, like I think this is also like, give yourself time to move forward, because there's a real drive and desire here that's being held back. I really do feel like this is like kind of quietly and without a lot of drama, pulling away from me certain situations that you find yourself in. All right, teeny tiny witch. Everyday witch. You're the Hermit with this King of Pentacles. Well, there is actually. Isn't that funny? Because everything I just talked about with the Hermit, it is honestly like really looking at yourself in terms of what you've built around you, how that's been built around you, how much of a participant you were in it, and how much you allowed others to participate around you in building this. It kind of does have the feeling of allowing others to participate in building this around you. Because there's a sense of feeling trapped. Unless you intentionally did, like, desired certain things that kind of limited your options moving forward, but made you feel empowered at the time. Justice with the devil. Wow. There could be laws of man here. I kind of want to say too, like whenever anything is written, I don't think we appreciate the power of things that are put in writing and things that we sign our names to as well. That I honestly feel like anytime you've signed something, you have given a part of yourself to, you know, maybe we need to come up with a new name for the devil card, but to karma. You've actualized and materialized karma. And I say the materialized because it's when you go into the material world that you enter the realm of the devil. So with justice too, like it also feels like there's, in a way, something that is out of your control. It could even be, again, like how this block is shaping the course of your life. Trust in the magic. It's really pushing on you to trust in the universe, to correct things that are out of balance. Anything that we have invested in, though, in our lives, I kind of feel like there's an investment that has to be applied to pull yourself out of it as well. And then you get the Three of Cups. Jeez, I don't know who this is you want to hang out with. It's got the Lovers and the Two of Cups. With this Three of Cups. Wow, this is just like emotional. This is like reclaiming a sense of emotional sovereignty and happiness and choices. This could, you know, even this reading could be as simple as you got a lot going on at work and you do not have any time for your loved one. Make it just like really simple like that. Or you might, yeah, you might even have a partner who is really like head to the grindstone right now in work and you don't have time. This is honestly like not having time for personal relationships or not having the ability to move forward in personal relationships because of some sort of responsibility. This is a responsibility that it's pretty difficult to just walk away from. Trust in the magic. With Temperance, you have the Nine of Pentacles. With the Fool, you have the Three of Swords. And with the Emperor, you have the Ace of Swords. Wow. This is honestly like, right, waiting to be unbound by the devil with the Nine of Pentacles. Like, this is sovereignty. It is the Sovereign card for me. It's physical and emotional sovereignty for me in the tarot. And the Nine of Pentacles is the physical and the Nine of Cups is the emotional. So I want to say the Nine of Swords is also your own mental sovereignty. What you do with that is so, yeah, just waiting. There's nothing worse, I think, for a fire sign than just wait. Just wait, just wait, just wait. The Three of Swords with the Fool. This has a feeling of wanting to invest in a really fresh, new way in things that in the past have felt painful. Or at least it's backed up by lessons of pain. And it is, again, like it's kind of speaking of this. It's like when you have this physical sovereignty, you have this emotional. I would call it sovereignty, even though the Nine of Cups isn't here. With the Three of Cups, the Lovers, the Two of Cups, the Fool, moving beyond the Three of Swords. The Emperor and the Ace of Swords. This is being who you are meant to be. This is being everyone being very clear about that, Aries. I'm hearing nobody puts Aries in a corner. I want to like just trust in the magic. Trust in the magic. Oh, geez. The Four of Pentacles. Wow, the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Sun. Well, that Four of Pentacles is almost with the Six of Pentacles, like pay the ferryman. That's what I look at the Devil. Like something needs to be paid up here. Something needs to be exchanged in the physical. And then you do bring in this self-actualization with the Sun. You bring in a cycle here that is very clear, very warm, very abundant. Until then, honestly, yes, I see you like in a waiting game, working on your patience. Okay, but now is a lucky time. But I feel like you're creating that luck. You're building on that luck. Maybe that's also the message here for you, is that you're building on this luck. So don't stop doing what you've been doing. Obviously adjust it as circumstances change, but look at the Hermit, the Knight of Cups. There's the freedom of movement here, the freedom of creative expression, the freedom of emotional expression. Wow, the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords with the Hanged Man, right? And the Hanged Man is what we see outside of ourselves. So this is honestly being able to move towards exactly what it is that you feel you have love for, what you see clearly, what you understand 100%, I guess with the Queen of Swords. Could even be something that was cut out of your life in some way or some fashion, or an opportunity to express yourself in a way that has been cut out. But luck is... now is a lucky time. So I kind of feel like you're coming around to be able to do something you wanted to do. The Queen of Wands, the Emperor. Ooh, that is taking it up. There you go. What did I say? I said this is like, you know, the energy right now is for you to be this creative vehicle for yourself. And then the next step is when it hits the Emperor. And that's it came out. It came out just like that. I kind of think too, okay, the Queen of Wands, it's depicted as like yin energy. The Emperor would be yang. And the Aries is a masculine sign in the tarot, or the tarot, in astrology. Bring a gentle touch too, like even that just feels very feminine. It feels like utilizing the feminine aspects of yourself. So it almost kind of feels like by utilizing your feminine, you are... empowering the more masculine area of you, right? Like where you really have leadership and control in your life. So sometimes doing nothing is doing everything. Five of Swords. What's that? Oh, it's the Queen of Wands. A creative touch. Bring a creative touch. Yes, bring a creative touch. And maybe this is, because it's the Five of Swords, something that was taken out. So it's almost like your feminine and your creativity, your expression of yourself in a very unique and kind of magical, trust in the magical way is your strength here. That's where actually you find your Emperor empowerment. Page of Swords is the Five of Cups and the Five of Swords. Wow, this is almost like realizing your disappointment. There's a lot of interesting things going through your head here, Aries. This is like realizing your disappointment because of perhaps cutting out a part of yourself that you haven't expressed in a long time. You know, for me, it's funny. She's one of, expressing this energy, the Queen of Wands. I think she's an Aries too, is Lady Gaga. Whether you like her or you don't, or you agree with her or you don't, but that's the whole point of the Queen of Wands. Don't give an F. And it's a very unusual and unique expression and creativity. Sometimes maybe it definitely is controversial, and sometimes maybe it's going right down the lane that you think it should. But that's the whole point of the Queen of Wands, right? So, but that's not an easy energy to, and I kind of admire her for that, because, particularly also being a woman, because this is not an easy time to be Aries. You know, maybe a few hundred years ago it was, but Aries is a very unique and expressive energy, and it can be a very take it or leave it, honey. Like, that's here. There's something here about that, like, to kind of introduce that maybe into your life again. Maybe you've been a little bit consumed by, I want to even say, because this energy to me, kind of like combining that together would be very patriarchal. Very patriarchal energy. And Queen of Wands, not into that. So that is cutting something out here and being disappointed about that. You know what? Find yourself again. Be gentle with it. The Nine of Wands. Finding yourself can honestly be the longest and drawn out journey. It should be the longest drawn out journey. You should never stop trying to find yourself. The Seven of Wands, the Nine of Wands. I don't know how protective you have to be of this energy, but I feel like there is a sense there, right? Because this 9 and 7 of Wands is, bring a gentle touch. The Page of Wands, you're showing up in your reading in a big way. See that? You got the Emperor twice, you got the Queen of Wands twice, you got lots of wand energy. Bring a gentle touch. How can you move away from the Eight of Pentacles? Master thyself in a gentle way. Master yourself in a very gentle way here, but very creatively. Maybe you're a little bit tough at work right now. That's, you know, that's possible. There's a bit of that energy coming up here. You might be a little bit of a toughie at work right now. You might be a little bit defensive of some creative ideas you've been trying to share. Don't push so hard with them. Use reverse psychology. It might work. I don't know. So that's that. Oh, you got the King of Wands at the bottom. Well, look at that. As I just said, use reverse psychology. That's very interesting. I'm going to go do the extended Aries. In the extended, we're looking at the shifting cycles around you. So I'm going to look at, where does this go? Give me a second here. Okay, the cycle you are leaving and the cycle you are entering. And then between those 2 points, there's always a bit of a void. So as you exit something and before you enter something else, what is a good thing for you to do in that void? What should your focus be in that void? And then more advice. That's what I got. Thanks so much, Aries. Until next time, do be gentle with your touch and bring a gentle touch. Bye.